many people say that Lincoln described himself as a conservative and that his interest in preserving the Union was conservative in the sense that he wanted to keep the Union numerically the same.
It is true that Lincoln is often described as a conservative, but the context of the term can vary depending on the time period and the specific issues being discussed. In general, Lincoln's goal of preserving the Union could be seen as conservative in the sense that he wanted to maintain the status quo and avoid radical changes that could disrupt the established order. However, it is important to note that Lincoln's views on other issues, such as slavery and civil rights, were often progressive for his time. So while he may have been conservative in some respects, he was also a complex figure who held a range of views and beliefs.
Really, Lincoln was considered more of a moderate on slavery, which made him make enemies with both abolitionists and slave owners.
Yes, that's true. Lincoln's views on slavery evolved over time and were often seen as moderate. He initially opposed the expansion of slavery into new territories, but he did not call for its immediate abolition. Instead, he favored a gradual process of emancipation, with compensation for slaveholders and the resettlement of freed slaves outside the United States. This position put him at odds with both abolitionists who saw any compromise on slavery as a betrayal and slave owners who saw any limitation on their right to own slaves as an infringement on their property rights. Nonetheless, Lincoln was committed to preserving the Union, and he believed that the issue of slavery would eventually have to be resolved through political means.
Really, you seem to imply that a moderate position can't be deeply flawed or inadequate, but that's wrong. Moderation is an idea, and it can have those features in it.
You're right. I didn't mean to imply that moderation is inherently flawless or adequate. Any position, whether moderate or extreme, can have flaws or inadequacies. The point I was trying to make is that Lincoln's support for colonization was seen as a moderate position at the time, which is why he pursued it. However, in hindsight, we can see that it was deeply flawed and inadequate. As it relied on the assumption that blacks and whites could not exist in the same society as equals.